Good afternoon on what is a warm, bright and sunny day. It is Friday the 26th of April and I'm in the rig with a nice hot cup of tea and a parcel to continue unboxing. In here is this, Magnificent Women and Their Revolutionary Machines by Henrietta Heald. So, women have won their political independence. Now is the time for them to achieve their economic freedom too. This was the great rallying cry of the pioneers who in 1919 created the Women's Engineering Society, spearheaded by Catherine and Rachel Parsons, a powerful mother and daughter duo, and Caroline Hasler, whose mission was to liberate women from domestic drudgery. It was the world's first professional organisation dedicated to the campaign for women's rights. In this fascinating book, acclaimed biographer Henrietta Heald tells the stories of the women at the heart of the group, from their significant achievements in engineering and technology to their success in fanning the flames of social evolution. Sorry, it should be revolution. So, yeah, I'll pick this up on a whim. It was on sale. And I thought, this looks interesting because, you know, you always hear about inventors and they're always men. Well, what about the female inventors, you know, and their creations? They surely could be just as interesting. And if that's tied into a revolutionary movement, you know, such as sort of like the successor, as opposed to the suffragists and the suffragettes, then, you know, all the more interesting. So, contents and credits pages, introduction, essentially explaining what the book is about. I'm going to lead chapter 1, leading ladies. So, essentially, relatively short book. We have a good selection of period photographs. So, you know, so they basically the ladies involved in the movement in the Women's Engineering Society, and some of their creations, such as, for example, that is the Leviathan, basically which looks to be sort of like a astronomy telescope, and they have a shot of the review at naval review at Spithead off the Portsmouth coast. So yeah, the thing is sort of like, you know, you always have tales of men being fascinated by the new technology, but also women are fascinated by the new technology as well. You know, especially in the case of, you know, we hear more about the air pioneers than perhaps in other fields because they're, you know, early aerial developments are a whole lot more, and adventures are a whole lot more exciting than other things going on. But it's also, I think the other thing to remember is at this time, and essentially this organisation is set up in 1919, just after the Great War ended. Well, all the men went off to fight. You know, whether that's on the Western Front or in the Navy or elsewhere, but the women took up the roles that men had. You know, they worked the factories in particular, so they gained an understanding of engineering, and that society would have supported them even further if they wanted to study that, you know, to maintain those skills. So, yeah. And of course, many would also go on to fly in at the air transport auxiliary for the RAF during World War II, essentially ferrying aircraft from one spot to another, to the point that in some cases, you know, the women were far more experienced pilots than the men because of the range of machines that they'd flown. So, yeah. So we get down to the end. We have an afterword and milestones for women in technology, engineering, politics, and society. So, starting in 1805, so that starts with the French aeronaut Sophie Blanchard is the first woman to pilot a hot air balloon. In 1819, she also becomes the first woman to be killed in an aviation accident when fireworks ignite the gas in her balloon. Yeah, because balloons at the time were hydrogen filled rather than the helium they are now. So this all goes all the way up to 2020, and Emmanuel Charpentier and Jennifer Doudna shared the Nobel Prize in Chemistry developing the genetic scissors used in gene editing. And 2021, Danielle George is the second female president of the IEAT organisation, marks its 150th anniversary. And there's also notes as well throughout the various chapters. Section on acknowledgements, and of course the index. And yeah, this is this is published by Unbound as well. So what you also have in the back is a list of all the contributors. I mean, almost a bit like a Kickstarter, but for books. I say you can do Kickstarter, but you can do Kickstarter also does books, but Unbound specifically does books. So yeah, that's Women and the Magnificent Revolutionary Machines, published by Unbound, written by Henrietta Heald. Well, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you did, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with box from which I will unbox a book or game and chat, in this case a history book about history of women and inventions, chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea, then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook, and we'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.